Unbound is just around the corner, so it's time for a recap of the first race in the Lifetime Grand Prix and subsequent wildcard hunt, the Sea Otter gravel race, as well as an Unbound preview and the pretty ridiculous math that this wildcard hunt is adding up to. New for the Lifetime Grand Prix in 2025 is the addition of a wildcard category, where the top 3 ranked riders in the wildcard hunt will be added to the Lifetime Grand Prix overall after the first 2 races of the series, Sea Otter and Unbound. This was my first ever time racing Sea Otter, so some of the nuances of the race were going to be brand new for me, but it was very apparent going in that this was one of the most competitive fields to ever toe the start line for a US gravel race, if not the outright highest level altogether. This race consisted of a 3-lap format in and around the Laguna Seca Raceway in Monterey, California, with a lot of climbing, nearly 10,000 feet over the 100-mile race. The start of this race was very crucial, with a short climb on the road of the raceway before hitting a long and fast gravel descent that would prove to be technical from the sheer speeds we were hitting it at. I already made a video about the opening climb and this descent, which is linked below, but the TLDR of this was that I started at the back and didn't move up enough going into this initial descent, and kinda ended my race early on. I ended up in a chase group and would keep moving forward for most of the day afterwards, finishing in 52nd after a sprint finish. Ultimately, I wanted much more coming into Sea Otter and had the fitness to be racing higher up, but I didn't risk it enough on this first descent, and I paid the price of a finish much further down the results sheet than I was looking for. This 52nd place finish does put me into 23rd in the wildcard category, which does make the likelihood of getting added to the Grand Prix after Unbound unlikely, but not impossible. The next race in the Lifetime Grand Prix is the Unbound 200, a race which I did compete in for the first time in 2024, and also a race that suits my fitness profile and equipment very well. Conditions are looking pretty questionable for the 2025 edition of Unbound. Notoriously known for the mud years, which I don't have any experience in, the thought of an even more unpredictable Unbound is my saving grace for a chance at clinching one of the wildcard spots available. My exact setup for Unbound is still not finalized, but I will 100% be on the State Carbon All-Road V2, which has massive tire clearance, so being able to run a more traditional gravel tire will have ample mud clearance if it is sloppy, as well as the Onyx Bird wheel set that has proven to be both extremely durable and very fast rolling with the SRAM Explorer full mount drivetrain. Durability and mud clearance will be paramount if it is as sloppy as predicted in Emporia, and the only things I'm debating on now will be tire size and whether I'm running road pedals or mountain bike. Onto the math that I am looking at that may make this wildcard selection happen. Currently, there are 4 positions available in the Lifetime Grand Prix after the recent announcement that Howard Grotz will no longer be competing in the overall series. With several other individuals in the Grand Prix that did not attend Sea Otter, I am guesstimating that at least one other athlete in the Grand Prix will either not attend Unbound or drop out altogether, bringing the total of wildcard selections up to at least 5. With 5 positions being available, this opens up my chances quite significantly. The start list for Unbound has been released, and 5 riders in the wildcard chase who placed ahead of me at Sea Otter are not present, already bumping me up to 18th. With Unbound being the most unpredictable race of the series and one of the least easy to figure out logistically, I'm also predicting that another 4 to 6 athletes will not be able to finish the race, with the potential for even more dropouts depending on conditions on race day. On the safe side, this would bump me up to 14th in the wildcard overall, just by finishing the race in a similar position, but I am not planning on just this. I know everyone in the wildcard category is fit, as was made evident by Sea Otter, but I also know that Unbound is a race I have the ability to perform very well at, and I have both the fitness and the experience to use to my advantage, as well as an equipment setup that I am highly confident in being the best setup for this race. It is hard to predict final results in such an unpredictable race, but if we enter dreamland for just a moment and look at a top 5 finish in the wildcard category, where the riders ahead of me were all ahead of me at Sea Otter, and the riders in between me now in 14th and this 5th place position finish more than 9 riders back in the wildcard designation, this should slot me into a 5th place in the wildcard overall and clinch that final spot that I am predicting to be open. I know, this is some crazy math, and math may not even be the right word since some of this might just be pure fabrication, but by my count, there is a chance, and I am fully prepared to do absolutely everything in my power to try to make this happen. Obviously, getting selected to be in the World Tour of Gravel Racing is a major athletic achievement, and I want to do this for my own personal athletic ambitions, but also to put an athlete who is also living and racing with type 1 diabetes on the biggest stage in gravel. Regardless of if this end result will happen or not, I am heading into Unbound ready to race as aggressively as I know how to and show the world that diabetes is not holding me back in any capacity whatsoever. So with that, we're heading to Unbound. Catch y'all out there. See ya.